crosses on like that,
Yeah.
plus, like that. Then you better.
Crosses aren't good.
You better find a hole when you see that. Of course, they got the swastika on the tail too, but
That probably doesn't help.
I see it this way all day, two-way, coming and going, just like that. Only, yeah, thick as that or more. B-17s, B-24s.
Our planes.
Yeah. See, this here's this Jerry's here.
But gets over into the Pacific some there.
Oh yeah. they have one of the Russians right there though. Them Russian forces. Russian campaign. Them old boys is tough old boys, All they do is war. We had a little guy in our outfit. I mean, he was in a hospital somewhere. He wasn't out there where he was fighting. He was in a hospital, a little small guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells us, German, he said, German. No, yeah, he's German. Anyway, and he tells us how he's one of the paratroopers jumped out and said he couldn't talk, He had this hand and arm signals. So he jumped out of his plane, and he come down like he's
Yeah, swaying.
And bing, 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 bing. They're shooting all around him. And they hit him some, I don't know. I guess that's because he's a little German guy.
Can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Can't go any faster.
Yeah. He just, that happened to our paratroopers a lot of times. They come to them, when they bail out, they just
start swinging.
Yeah, they'd shoot them from the ground. Oh.
I don't remember much about you starting.
Oh, well.
You getting you got a letter in the mail here one day?
Yeah, it said greetings from the president. You have been chosen. You will report to your draft board.
Did a lot of people get them here?
Well,
Almost everybody?
a lot of guys around got them, yeah.
Nobody got out of it? Not in this area?
Unless you had a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Had to buy more cows, make more units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So how many days did they give you before you had to leave?
Well, they had to give us about a month or so. Yeah, and then had to go to Jefferson Barracks and get inducted. Then that you send you go back home for about a couple of weeks or so to take care of your business. Then you had to go back.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start at though, Josh. Let's see. I can't take too long to tell all that stuff.
I got more than one day.
Yeah.
Did you, then they ship you out to Colorado or no?
Yeah, we took a train from Jefferson Barracks, St. Louis, to Colorado Springs. A new camp, never been occupied. And we helped make driveways and the sidewalks and stuff with rocks and so forth, And then had basic training there 13 weeks as a basic training. Rifle range, bayonet practice, and force marches. And it was taking about 13 weeks and done that 3 times. Didn't have enough guys, see. One time we did it, and then they got some more men in, new recruits. Another again, didn't have enough men. So the ship was out, see.
Right.
But anyway, then we had some washout Air Corps guys. They come in last. Another 13 weeks.
What year was that?
40.
What year was that?
Well, it had to be 42, and it had to be 42. Yeah.
42. You were in Colorado.
Yeah. See, Yeah, about June '42 and all through the winter. Anybody?
Linda said she should be here.
So you had to.
Are you going to say anything on it too a little bit?
I'm talking on it right now. Me and you talking back and forth.
We're not. It's not taping now, is it?
Oh, it's taping. It's not that big a deal. It doesn't have to be real formal.
Yeah.
So.
So you only.
So then you were in Colorado for a long time? 2
Yeah,
years?
Yeah.
More than 2 years?
Yeah, not quite two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did all you got to do all your Jeep driving there though, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, last of three.
So the whole time that you were in Colorado, you got to drive the Jeep and then they took it away from you?
Oh yeah, after we said pretty much after we went to Grand Deal, we just had to do what they had. We was going to go to the mountains to take maneuver in the mountains and places. They gave us 2-wheel cars to pull with guys pulling, but 2 guys on a cart with the
That was the training?
supplies. Yeah, right.
That was the training, huh? They ship you over there when they ship you over there.
Overseas. Yeah, well, I was in Fort Meade, Maryland, D-Day. That would be June the 6th, 1944. And I was in Fort Meade, Maryland. And then we got on the ship,
Yeah.
went 14 days
Oh.
with a ship to Liverpool, England.
How many people were on it? Lots of people.
Hundreds of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
People getting sick?
Yeah, getting sick below deck. I was down there one time at the mess hall, mess, and your cup starts sliding away from you and you have to grab it.
Yeah.
And you get a little woozy in the head, and
Oh.
you better get out of there.
Could you write letters and stuff there on the ship and then send them back? How long did it take?
Right. I don't know. Of course, it's all free mail. We had this.
Yeah.
Free DI mail. Anyway, see, after we got to England, they put us on narrow gauge railroad out of Liverpool, like clear down near Huntington, or down Exeter, down there, to a little Quonset hut camp.
Yeah.
Spent a few days there, and on 4th of July there, 44. That was a month from D-Day. So the guys
Yeah.
have been over there 1 month. And 3 days after that, after the 4th of July, I crossed the English Channel, and
Was it hot over there? Cold.
No, it was just about right. It wasn't
Yeah.
too bad. So anyway, we went to the hedgerow country, and it took a few days. We went to a marshalling area. That's what that's where everybody goes, and they pick the replacements for the guys on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So one evening we started we had made camp pitched our pump tents along the wire fence there, cow pasture.
Yeah.
And went down there, and so this guy ahead of me in the mess line. Anyway, he was Mexican. He had a field jacket, a light tan, and a senoritas picture on the back of it. I said, "Did you do the drawing, fella?" I said, No, I bought it. I didn't make it. So he said, when we get through eating, I want you to go see my foxhole. I said, okay. So we went, so we got through, and he took me up, said, he's up above. My buddy and I had a pup tent along the fence there, not too far from it. We went up there under huge trees along there, and he had a foxhole up under your arms, full length of the body. He's laying in that He said, you know, I said, but that's a good one. You know, he's had good digging out of rock at 100 Mile.
You think he's gonna stay there the whole time?
Yeah. So anyway, that very night, why, up during the night, more like morning, we heard a rifle shot. You know, heard a plane coming. That was, we call it Bed Check Charlie, a German plane of the night. He came over to do the bombing at night for any personnel mines or bombs. Anyway, this plane motor, it had an uneven motor. You know, it wasn't a straight purr. It had a
drop and then
drop
a
in
high
it. Yeah. Anyway, after the single shot rifle, in a matter of minutes, he come back over and started dropping bombs all over the place.
Right next to you?
All right next to us, within from here to the barn, you know.
Man.
Oh no, closer than that, from here to the other side of the old truck there. Right there, my
That's
truck.
too close.
Anyway, so we got out that morning, Buddy and I, and in the meantime I'd taken my shoes off. We had a slip trench, double deal, and roll of dirt all around the side, and tent down over, see. So next morning I got up, started putting my shoes on, had a shoelace broke, shot right in two. So I had to tie a knot in it. And then, so pretty soon we got outside after daylight good. Here came a lieutenant by, and they generally say we want so many volunteers. Whether you had a duty, volunteers just say, I want you and you and you, so many volunteers, see, you and you and you.
Yeah.
But this this lieutenant come up and said to me, Buddy and I, and said, they said, I want to ask you something, you can say yes or no, whichever is fine with me. And so he said, we're going to have a truck coming here in a minute to pick up bodies. And said, and what do you think? And he said, we'd like to say no. He said, fine. And he just went on. I thought, now this is unusual for the Army. They generally tell you
just
what
tell you
to
do it.
They don't tell you when you do it. Have to, matter of minutes here, heavy GMC, big truck, you know, coming Army, backed up earth, the tailgate dropped down, and several guys over there and started loading bodies.
Yeah.
And arms, legs, I mean,
All of it. Huh?
all 9 yards of it, like that. And we stood to watch them, you know, but we.
Then you knew it was live then.
Yeah.
Huh?
Anyway, they said there was 33 to 35 men dead,
That was
and that was within here. It was in 200 feet of me, you know.
you had just got there too, right?
Oh yeah, we hadn't fired a shot in combat.
That's kind of disheartening.
Yeah, that's really.
Or shooting at you.
That makes you want to dig in next time. You
Yeah.
had to.
I bet that one guy was in his foxhole.
I didn't feel bad about digging foxholes after that. All right. So.
Oh man. So were all those guys stay with you the whole time?
Oh yeah.
You stayed with the same
no,
people?
No. They took us out of the marching area, and they take 4 or 5 to one unit, and then said we'll find out. So they split us all up everywhere. So you didn't.
So all those people you were with at the first, they didn't end
no,
up staying with you?
No, the guys I went with generally with S's, you know, like initial,
Mm-hmm.
and like, you know, Sutton, you know,
Yeah.
like that, and all that. They were same, you know. On the S, they kind of went alphabetical order, and a lot of times, 2 guys. So.
So then what? You had to start moving?
Yeah, then just after, about the day or next day or after the bombing of the guys there, killing all the bunch, you know, there, the guys came down one day and taking us with him, you know, and I went up there and I went down this country road, and then that's when I saw my first dead German.
Oh yeah?
In the ditch, you know, and then I walked a little farther, and then about the tank battle, you know.
Yeah.
And
shooting through the hedgerow, that thing?
yeah, that's when they done that, and then so the next morning after this tank battle, when we saw the tank destroyed, there wasn't no battle to it, just destroyed, you know. There's a guy came down to there every morning. We went in foxholes. That night was already dug. I guess the Germans had dug them before. So anyway, this officer come down there. He didn't have no ID on it, no brass or anything. He had a 45 in his hip pocket, which was unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, he said, I need you and you and you to go with me. There's some injured Germans down there. Need to go down and see how they're doing. So we went with him down there, and there was a small Jeep German deal that the evening before I'd seen an explosion down there and papers flew all over the highway. Just paperwork. So we're down there and there's about 4 in Jerry's there in the ditch, wrapped up with gauze and everything, and there's about 2 of them dead and 2 of them had movement to them. So we went, that was the captain that taking the stand there. We didn't know him from Adam.
Oh yeah.
So he said, you guys go back and tell the medics there's 2 alive down there, come and pick them up, So that's what we did, and then that was kind of about the end of that story,
Yeah. Huh. I don't think I ever heard that one. Where'd you go from there?
Well, we went down there and they had a little break in the action. The outfit had been fighting quite a while I got with. So that we had pretty near 4 or 5 day break, just do your thing. So we found some German rifles. And the Germans usually throw the rifle away and then they would throw it one way and the rifle the other way. So you couldn't operate. So we found them.
Found both of them?
Found 2 good. I put them together and found a lot of ammo. So we went down through there. There's a lot of animals, cattle had been hit with shrapnel into their bodies. They were down, unable to get
Move,
up.
Yeah.
So we did away with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. And so
so whenever you had time off like that, you just stay around one spot, kind of.
One area, yeah. You didn't get too far away. You might get in trouble.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had a deal that, it wasn't the next day or 2, Buddy and I was digging a slip trench along a hedgerow in the dirt, and it was pretty dry. We were digging, it had about half done, and just wasn't halfway. You couldn't get in it. You just laid down. That's just a ditch, Your body lay in it long ways. It's not like a foxhole, not straight down. But anyway, we was getting along pretty good. It wasn't near done. Then we heard on the distance, probably a couple miles away, or at least that far. We heard the German 88s. It's a fast shooting artillery piece. We heard them shooting, and so pretty soon, I told my buddy, I said, we better get in there. Here they came in. One shell hit on the other side of the hedgerow, exploded. I said, we better get in this deal. And so just got on knees and started getting into the slip trench, and one hit right above us in the middle of the hedgerow, right on top.
Holy shit.
And knocked me out, went plumb out.
Really?
Come to, you hear bells ringing. And come up, got out, went all over.
So could you see them? They were just shooting them over the hill?
Oh, they're shooting for 2 miles away.
Oh, man.
88's out.
Yeah. Big long shells.
Yeah, when they hit the ground, they explode.
They just place a lot of dirt.
Oh, man. We knocked we looked about the top of that hedgerow, about like a number 3 wash tub. He knocked a hole with it, and knocked dirt all over us. Buddy, his head was covered up pretty good. Well, with a lot of dirt down his neck and over his helmet and everything. And said, you think you're hit? I said, no, I don't think so. And so I said, I don't believe I am either. So we crawled down there, and from then on, I'd had a pain in my back. Right, take a deep breath. There'd be a sharp pain right in the middle of your back, under your
Break a rib?
Yeah, under your rib cage back there.
Yeah.
And even the day I got discharged,
you could feel it
like still, you take a deep breath and be a quick pain hits you.
Oh.
Yeah. But that was pretty close.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man. That's pretty close.
I guess you ought to hear about the rabbit story.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that you're telling me that you're driving down the road or something?
Yeah, we was going down through there, and see this big rabbit going in this. He's going into this field of wheat or oats, either one, I don't know which was grain. A truck had went through there and made two big tracks, you know. And he was just hopping down that. He was, what they call them, they had it back in the States, called them Belgian hares. Looked like a cottontail, but they're about twice or 3 times as big. Huge rabbits.
Big jackrabbit.
Anyway, so got down there, so we're going down there, and some kids down there, that was the time they had a grenade up in the second story. And the girls come down and said, you know, grenade, and they pulled it upstairs. Okay, went down, and they showed me, went up there and showed me what room was in. I went in there, showed me what drawer it was in. I opened this drawer up, and there it was, you know, a little small concussion, German.
Yeah.
So I took it and threw it out the window, and that was into that story, you know.
Did it blow up?
I can't tell you that. I threw it so far that I don't think it did. But anyway.
What town was that?
What town?
Do you know what town that was?
No, I can't tell you that.
Was it in Belgium though?
Oh no, France.
France.
Oh yeah, France. Anyway, so then we don't know these kids, you know. This boy done the talking or handed arm signals, and he did. So anyway,
Well, that's when you saw the horse too, isn't it?
Shot
the horse.
Shot a cow.
Yeah, but the horse that was picked up, all the bones.
Oh no, that was later.
Oh, later.
That was.
So you shot the.
That was in Tournai, Belgium.
Yeah.
But anyway, this deal. So this kid, they were hungry. I said, well, we'll you stay here. So I told my buddy, I said, we'll go back where that rabbit was. I'll go down there and get down the trail along the side. You'll come back way. We'll, you drive him by me and I'll grab him. So we got that rabbit, took it up, and boy, they typed it, told him to eat, you know, eat. So then they knew what to do. So
how you catch it? Probably tough to catch it, wasn't it?
Well, no, just jumped on him like a.
It didn't see you.
No, I was just
hiding.
Yeah, I was right there in the back in the stuff. The stuff was about 2.5, 3 foot tall. You know, that green was. I was down on my knees. This pounced on it. Well, no problem. So anyway, this next day or so, next day or down there. This cow was in this pond, you know, about the place where that artillery shell went off, and throw dirt all over us. You know? So we had these German rifles. So I didn't want to shoot the cow really out there. There's some civilians down there.
Had shrapnel inside of it.
Yeah, whole draining, seeping out of the side, head down. They're very listless, you know, just about. So anyway, went down there and this. I told this guy, and these farmers had just come back from being gone, you know, from somewhere. It got too hot for them there. So anyway, they said, I said, they're going to talk to the old gentleman, try to come up there, and he didn't want to go with me much. And then, the girl, the daughter started crying, you know, and all that stuff and everything. So about that time, this guy that I'd seen the day before, gave him the rabbit. He come up there and he stuck out. He said, "Oh," I said, "Comrade." Well, that got me off the hook.
Showed up at the right time. Huh?
So I told him, I said.
So she thought you were gonna shoot him.
Shoot Dad. I thought I was gonna shoot Dad, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went and I told him, "I come, cow move," you know. Had an arm signal, cow. So he went with me. Well, just a few yards up there. And that cow was in the middle of this little pond. I said, "It's ready to go." And so he said, "Oh, you know, he'd blown it away there. Handed the rifle back."
Yeah.
So we got that over with.
And then they take it out there and eat it, I guess?
Oh, no, I don't know nothing about that. They probably did.
Probably.
Yeah.
If they were hungry for rabbits, they'd probably eat a cow.
Yeah. There
wasn't much food around there then, huh?
It's hard to come by, I think.
Hard to come by? Huh. So then you had to move out of there? And
yeah, we worked our way up through and come in about 20 kilometers east, west of Paris. And we kept calling back through the line that Pat the outfit, 3rd Armored Division, was ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
And he was headed for Paris. And they come back through the line and said, Patton, so many kilometers from Paris. Tell me, so many kilometers from Paris.
They were pretty close to him then, huh?
Yeah, and then said, next thing they called back said, Patton is in Paris.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was quite a celebration.
Yeah.
So we went on up to there and kind of worked our way on up there and had a few more scrimmages around here and there and yonder. And then they decided we'd make a long run for Belgium. And they brought the tanks in, a lot of the light tanks.
Uh-huh.
And six infantry guys ride on a tank. So we got on about 4 o'clock one evening. And started out and went in one place is about, we called it about 119 guys come out of the brush and they surrendered. And
119?
119, yeah.
How many people do you guys have?
Well, we just ride on tanks the whole convoy.
Oh.
Yeah, see, and they would come at night. It got dusky, dark, and they'd be along the road wanting to surrender. We didn't even mess with them. We had to keep going.
Oh yeah.
Let somebody
Didn't
else
have time to.
Didn't have time to mess with them.
Yeah.
We kept going and rolled all night on them tanks. This one guy in the middle of the tank behind on the back of the rig, he'd go to sleep on us. And the first thing you know, he'd be about to fall off the rear end. I had to reach the guy and get in by his harness, pull him up. Did that several times, and kept you from getting splattered with the next tank.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It'd be hard to sleep on top of the tank.
Then next day we was on the road, you know, and we headed for Tournai, Belgium. Come through there, and so we come around this hard surface road. Them tanks would run about 40 miles an hour. They said.
How many tanks were there? Lots.
They tell
10?
You. Oh yeah, at least
More.
And then more than another group later on. But everybody was moving fast, and that's when we come around this curve, and I was on the left, on the turret just behind the left side, top, and started shooting overhead quite a bit, and so I turned around and squeezed a couple shots off into the brush, and that tanker stuck his head out and said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, they're shooting at us. Let's move, get this thing out of here." I said, "Okay."
There you got the tank.
He was in front of us about just run a few yards right down the pavement in front of us was a command car, 2 guys in front and 1 guy standing up in the rear with a 50 caliber machine gun. So just a matter of a minute or seconds, pretty soon the machine gun opened up, you know, and just a pretty good burst. And then the next thing, there lay the motorcycle on the side of the road right there on the edge of the pavement, and 2 dead Jerry's in the ditch.
Huh. And there was a machine gun on top of the tank?
No. It's on the floorboard of the rear seat of the command car.
Okay.
And of course, we was right behind him with this tank.
So he sat like on a tripod in the back of the tank?
Just like
or
that.
back of the Jeep?
Right in the floorboard. He's standing there right straddling it.
Huh.
And but anyway, come on around down into the main drag of Tournai, Belgium. We was the first outfit in there.
First outfit in Belgium.
First Americans in there.
Huh. That was a big town, or no?
No, not town, just
small.
Not just a small town. Yeah, had 2 or 3 main streets. You know, wasn't that great? Wasn't that great a town?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I seen the people working on the horse meat.
Oh yeah. Pick the bones clean, you said?
Oh yeah, very. And so we come into the first town, and some officer said, "We're gonna get them boys off them tanks, or they'll get them shot off down there in town." So we bailed off and went in the front of the stores, empty store, and I stayed that night. But that same night, this tankers went down there, and you heard several blasts from their gun down there at the end of the 2 or 3 blocks down the street. They come back, and we was on the sidewalk, said, "What happened down there?" They said, "Well," said, "we had to shoot up a horse and wagon down there." And shoot up a horse and wagons. Anyway, so next day we seen these people were in a group.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's 25 or 30, I mean, or maybe more in there, and had knives and pans. You know, you see them in our hands, you know,
Yeah.
utensils. And so we went down to the depot, or train station, where you all call it, and we got stayed there a while, and come back by. It's all people are all dispersed.
All cleaned up.
And it's all those skeletons of a horse there. No meat.
Huh.
I mean, cleanly carved. Everything was all meat was
Was the
gone.
hide there?
I don't know about the hide, but I mean the bones was there.
Just the bones, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have to stay there long?
All moved out pretty quickly and everything. Moved out and stayed all night in the hay barn
Uh-huh.
over there. That night, pretty fancy. Nice.
Now everybody stayed in the hay barn, or just
Huh?
everybody stayed in the hay barn, or just a few of you?
Yeah, a squad or two, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about
20,
you know,
20 people.
15, 20 people, yeah. Not all of them. But anyway, anyway, it's quite a deal. They had good farmland, like good hay land,
Yeah.
smooth. And I mean, they produced lots of hay, I guess.
So the people that owned that barn, they just
They,
didn't say anything.
boy, no way. They
Nothing to
wasn't
say.
They wasn't 100 miles of there. They was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people that were living there were just not leaving, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
well, the people in the town, that was a town. Another guy in GI in our squad. They took a picture. The lady come down there on the main drag of town one day that morning and said, "Take pictures." You know, she wanted to take pictures of the guy. So about 3 of us was there, and she had some little kids. So she got in the picture, and she go back and with us 3 dog faces, you know. So they took a picture of it, and one that she got through, this kid said, "When you get them developed, have 2 made and send me 1." I said, "Come on." She can't understand what you're talking. Send me 1. I don't know how he'd ever said him 1. It was quite a deal.
So the tanks take you to the next.
We stayed on a while. Then we had to get off, and then one day things get quiet. We'd maybe have a day and nothing going on much. Well, here come a convoy of trucks up. Generally, it'd be black drivers.
Uh-huh.
They were on the transportation
Yeah.
deal. They drove them trucks, and they'd come up and load us up and haul us up another 15, 20 miles and kick us off again. That was typical.
At least you didn't have to walk it.
Yeah, I'd walk. I'd rather if you're going to fight, I'd rather get there quickly.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
So they didn't consider that job very good, driving trucks? Or was it a good job?
that was a good job for them. See, they got out of there real quickly.
Yeah.
After they dumped us.
They dumped you and just left.
Yeah, we was the ones that had the.
Because you'd think they'd target the big trucks and stuff.
Yeah. Well, one time we was holed up there on the side of the hill, and area waiting. I guess we was waiting for trucks to come and get us in. And the Red Ball Express, they was this constant stream of trucks on the road, from the rear to the front, hauling artillery ammunition. Had wooden crates, and we watched them. I mean, you couldn't count them. They were just a solid convoy, and them guys taking that artillery shells up to the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How close was that? How close were you to the front?
Well, we was pretty close at times, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they was taking them to, but I mean, Red Ball Express was what they called this outfit.
Uh-huh.
It was no deal. I mean, just on and on.
So where'd you go out of that one town then? That what did you say? Ternay?
Ternay, yeah.
And then you went where?
Well, then we started on through Belgium, and see,
Uh-huh.
right through there too. And one night, we come to this town, just a little small hamlet, but they said it was about 15 miles south of Brussels. So we go to a nice little town, real clean. Buddy and I was sitting there on the side of a house hill there, and so this lady come out and said she could talk English. Said her husband was a dentist in Brussels, and he sent her out there with the 2 small girls to be out of the danger, you know, he thought.
Yeah.
So anyway, she said, "But you and your buddy, would you like to eat supper with us tonight?" I said, "Sure would, yeah." We didn't turn that deal down.
Yeah.
And went in the, we stayed outside, so went in, had a nice house, of course. And these small girls there, she took pictures of us sitting on her lap, you know, us little girls. And this lady, she knew how to play the piano. And she played the piano like that. And then I think we slept in well, they had a kind of a shed on the side,
Yeah.
you know, kind of a tool shed. I think my buddy and I, we, you know, folded our bedrolls down in there.
Just a couple of you then?
Yeah, just 2 of us there. But anyway,
Well, whenever there's just 2 of you, where are the other guys at?
they scattered around the area.
Oh, because they had like a day off kind of thing?
Yeah, just
Just stay close?
Half a block from you.
Yeah.
You know, another block around.
They find another place to stay?
Oh yeah, yeah. But anyway, that was. I often thought, you know, if a fella ever went through Belgium, he'd find some dentist and said, "Did you have your wife and 2 daughters out there?" But they were real nice. She had a meal. I know they had food though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So well, I guess one of our best buddies down there was the medics. So we was over one day and.
That's a good guy to have. That's
Yeah,
a
the
good guy.
medics. Yeah, I didn't know he had all that morphine with him. I didn't know he used it. But anyway, he said. So we one time he said, "Well, Steele, I'm invited out. We're invited out for dinner." I said, "We are." Yeah. I used to carry his pill bag. Well, and he used to carry my ammunition bag for the BAR, Browning automatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Well," he said, "Well, these civilians down there, and they got 2 little kids or so, and I said they want to know if I'd like to come down for supper." He said, "Yeah, but I got a buddy, another doctor.
Another
He
doctor.
He said he'll be another medics. I guess that's the way he put it. And said, "I said bring him too." So he said, "You're a medics now. You're a doctor." I said, "Okay." See, with the pill bag, they all considered doctors, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went down and eat supper, and they gave us. In fact, I've still got one of their cards, you know. It's so and so and infants, you know. Infants, so I still got that card. You know, or they give it, you know. That's part of the deal.
Now, were there any people in Belgium, like Germans, that you had to mess with, or no?
Oh, yeah,
in Belgium?
They kind of helped us up now and then.
Yeah.
There's
No. Was that John, that big John guy you always talk about? Was he with you guys then?
He was with us, Big John, yeah. But he was always, invariably, we hadn't been in combat there down at, he's got Domfront or Mortain, France. And the first time they threw the artillery at us. Anyway, John later on, it's getting about dusky, getting that one evening late, they had a fire going down there in a field, and there's some dead German soldiers there. And so they got their uniforms. John was down there frisking them. Yeah, going through their pockets. And that, that fire got to them and got in the uniform on a cartridge belt.
Oh, sorry.
The shell started exploding even.
Oh.
So John, he got out of there before that happened. John, he was something else.
So what was burning, all their bodies?
Oh yeah, their belts right there that had a cartridge in them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how'd the fire start? Just
Who knows?
Just
yeah, that was
going?
a different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just grass fire, you know.
He was taking those burp guns you were talking about,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
grease guns.
Yeah.
So when you were in Belgium, you were telling me about that. You jumped in that foxhole on the side of the road and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
in Belgium?
I'll tell you about that in a minute. But we was at this town, and so we're in this town one evening in Belgium, and I forget the name of it now. But I got a card there, and so anyway, we was down the main drag of town, and people, they've got a courtyard and a wall around it, and they live in it, and they got hay in it, and the cattle in there, and then they go out in the country to farm. They go out on the edge of the area around the farm, but they live in the city.
Uh-huh.
And so we went down there talking, and the civilians really glad to see us
Americans.
American soldiers. So anyway, how was it? Oh, this, you have to be kind of, diplomatic. So I had I had cigarettes on me. I traded my cigarettes for sugar.
Uh-huh.
I didn't smoke, so so there's a blonde there. Naturally a blonde, had to be a blonde there.
Yeah.
So this kid, I took this, and I put it on a pack, had this blonde, and there's several civilians there. So this young kid there, oh boy, she just started grinning and everything. Said, she talked in her tongue to him, and he told me, he said, morning, go to big house and eat breakfast. Can you, will you? I said, probably, yeah. So anyway, and then the next morning went up there and borrowed a pistol from John, didn't take my rifle. Anyway, went there and this woman's brother worked for the St. Clair Oil Company. A representative there, and he spoke English.
Oh, really?
I had a field day. Went in there, sat down, and they'd bring food out, and take it back and bring more food out. I kept her like that, several course meal.
A little different than France, huh? A little different than France.
Oh yeah. But the merchants, their business card said merchants of the fruit. So they orchard people.
Yeah.
They had an orchard somewhere. So anyway, pretty soon nobody come out and said, Steele, we're moving out. Said, here's your rifle. We're on the road, getting on the road now. So, okay, we're going. So went down the road, hadn't got half a quarter out of the town. I had us pinned down in a road ditch, shooting over us. I went, small arms fire.
How far over you? What? Way over your head?
Oh yeah, a treetop or half treetop high. I mean, and you get pretty low in a road ditch when they get that close to you. You don't get out and start looking around.
Yeah.
So anyway, went on a little farther down there, that quieted down. Went down the edge of the water. It must have been a canal, it's a body of water, quite a ways across it, and a sheer bluff on the other side. And there's a big horse pulling a two-wheel wagon, a big wagon, and it was stacked with flat-bottom boats. I mean, there wasn't one, but there's a number of them on there. Mm-hmm. And they started unloading them. I said, I wonder what they're going to do to that. Why are they going to do that? Well, I found out pretty quickly. They said they got them all for the civilians to drive that horse, leading him or whatever. It's a huge horse. And anyway, and so they unload them boats. So all right, you guys get in there. So we got in that boat and started across. And had paddles in, just two paddles. There's about 6 or 8 of us in one boat, see. And so.
Well, you're sitting ducks then, aren't you?
Yeah, we started across the water, and a sheer bluff on the backside, and it wasn't that far across it, but and it just had no more got out in the middle just a little bit. And they started shooting at us from the bluff over our heads.
Uh-oh.
And we looked and said, well, you're paddling the boat backwards. You're square in instead of the slide.
Oh.
Somebody said, well, turn around. But I said, don't turn around, keep going.
Get out of here.
So we got over and they stopped shooting at us. And we got up along the bluff and trail, path up the side of the bluff. Started up on top, and got up on top, going down through it. There had to be an orchard everywhere. There's orchards everywhere. There's a wagon road down through the middle of the orchard. And old medics and I were always walking along. And so I was on the right. Pretty soon, it's, kind of a wide, fairly wide road and open. Pretty soon a bullet started coming overhead. I just relaxed and fell on my face right down the side. And so later on, I got up, and the next time I seen some guys up there and said, you know what, said, down there a while ago, said, they started shooting at us. I looked around for Steele, he was flat on the ground. I said, well, I wasn't born yesterday. So he said, but he could just, artillery come in, he'd just look around and everything. But anyway, went in down to the draw there and stopped. And we didn't go any farther. It got dark on us. So we had to, we didn't pitch tents. You just set up against a tree. That's all I did. That sleep down there. And next morning, I went up there, went around the edge of the draw there, next to the field. They're one of our command cars that sat there burning up.
Oh.
And about that time, here a little German come over, around the corner of that car, run right over, pretty run over me, and he was trucking on, and I got out of his way, and he run on back to Schringer, see. So anyway, they found it, and then you can look over a little farther in the field, and there was a farmyard over there. It had a wall around the place, you know, around the barnyard, and they said a full German colonel, and his whole staff was in there and left that night. Just pulled out after dark. We was out there getting
that close to
capturing a full colonel, you know, and his staff.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
That was the next morning?
Yeah, that was the next morning, yeah. So that's what them guys was doing, shooting us when we was done that canal or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Kind of keep it, this slowed us down, don't they?
Slow you down, because they knew you were headed for him.
Right, yeah.
And that was it? That was in Belgium too?
Oh yeah, Belgium. So they went on down there, we got on tanks again, another place. We moved on pretty, you know, down there, it was near Liege or somewhere, this pretty big city. It had 2 or 3 store buildings in it. The guys riding on tanks, you know. We started downtown, and these people was greeting us, you know, waving at us and trying to hit our hands along down as we go along. This on the sidewalk, you know, and a lot of people, and they's happy as could be. So anyway, we went down a little farther and had a few bullets started shooting over our head. So the tanker, he stopped and said, "Boys," said, "get off this thing." Said, they're shooting at us from them buildings up there. Snipers are.
Yeah.
I said, "I'm going to turn around this alley," and said, "I'll get around and I'll get ready to blast off you mount up." And so I jumped off on the sidewalk. It's cobblestone. The pavement was cobblestone stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Turned an ankle over, and it wasn't that bad. I could turn an ankle and get over it in 15 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
So my friend got back, and he backed that tank out there and spun around, stopped, just hesitated a minute. We mounted that thing up out of the way, and then people, they kept looking real strange. We was leaving the town.
just got there, and you're out of there.
Just got there, we was out of there. I was kind of glad to get out of
They
there.
weren't giving you high fives on the way out?
They went down?
They weren't giving you high five on the way out?
Oh yeah, they weren't. Oh, people, yeah. But they was really happy when we would come in. We left faster. We come out faster. We went in.
Yeah.
It is
So by then you're pretty close to the border, aren't you?
Yeah, we're getting close, yeah. Anyway, then we come down around the country on foot, see. Now, you come up over this hill, and there was a rock wall along there. And we was on one side of the rock wall on the lower side, and we didn't know what was on the other side. So, and we crawled over the rock wall. There's a wide road, just, well, you know, a wagon road down through there. Buddy and I, we was walking side by side, several feet apart, and the artillery shell went between us. I mean, it was about head high, but if it had been the third guy in the middle that got him, see, it went right over that rock wall and exploded where we just came from. And that was, found out later, that was Valkenburg, Holland. So I got, after that artillery shell went between us there, started running toward the sprouts down ahead, went down over the hillside, and second growth saplings that are about pretty twice as your head, you know, high as your head, and they were just sprouts, you know. I went down through there, I was the first guy, and I went down there, come to a blacktop road, there was the village, right down in the holler. And one road went right down through the middle of the town. So I run it, this big brick building right across, straight went right across the street, hit that door. You've heard this before. And then anyway, hit that door, it was fast locked. So it goes to another window, had big windows, you know, with steel frames on them.
Right.
And I started to push it open, it's locked. Went down the next one about that, and it was not locked. And I shoved a big jar of fern, a big fern off. It fell right out off the door, off the
Into
way
the floor?
into the floor
Into-
on a rug. About the time I looked up behind, and there stood a priest there, with his with his collar on backwards.
Yeah.
And he motioned me to come to the back to the door. So I go back to the door, and he'd unlocked the door. About that time, my buddy was right behind me, and he come in, and then here's some more guys. The rest of them, they come in, and
Like 20 of them?
well, there's probably at least that many. See, 12 men to the squad.
Yeah.
There's a squad at least in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we stayed at his. He had fancy furniture, a deep rug on the floor. Pretty.
With
So we slept under the table.
a fern on it?
No, I didn't clean the dirt up after that, you know. But anyway, so, but that night, why, here comes the machine gun squad in, and they was bushed. So they brought that machine gun up on the front porch. It had concrete porch and everything, pretty fancy house. And they said that the main road came in from the right, went right down through the middle of town. And that night they had chow. They had a hot chow down there in front of they had a lot of caves along the town, a lot of caves back there. And they had I didn't go down. So if you wanted the hot chow, you could go down the main, another block or sit down the street and go in and eat. But I didn't go. Anyway, that night, these machine gunners, the sergeant said, guys, our men are bushed. Our sergeant said they need some help on the gun tonight. We don't know how to shoot a machine gun, so we'll show you. So out there on the front porch, you know, had to pick it, metal lads up, you know, for masters. Let's put it that way. They said, so they had it set up there and all ready to go. They said, all you got to do now is just pull the
lever back,
turn it loose, and hit the trigger, and it's gone. And I think we had about an hour and a half apiece or two, whatever it was. And nobody ever showed tonight. We didn't even have to do that. We was just glad of it. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, that night, the next morning, I started to move down through town, and there's a bridge down there. And you know what they did? The Germans had blown that bridge out when we had to walk down, and well, the water was only about, you could, on the rocks, you could, without getting your feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked down underneath, went on up the back of another main street up there with businesses along, get into these businesses, and they weren't operating. You go in the store and go through the back rooms, go out and keep going out, you know. And so we had that's when we went through the back of the barber shop. There's a pair of clippers hanging up on the wall and scissors. And I got the clippers and I told the buddy behind me, I said, get them scissors there, and we'll do some hair cutting later on. We get pretty ragged, everybody was.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that night up at the priest's house, I'd found a kind of shelter half piece of material, shiny on one side, just silver shiny. And I thought, man, that would be a good deal to wrap my bedroll in. And I'm thinking, with absent-minded, you know, rolled it, and I rolled it up, tied it on my back, you know. Anyway, but after I went through that barber shop.
Just a second here.